I should probably enter the stage, right? Hi, I'm Easy. I'm hosting this show called Easy Does It. Um, Today, I want to first of all offer a sincere congratulations to the Chicago Bears on winning their third game of the season. Gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I didn't know if we were going to get the 3 wins, but we did it. And I was very happy. The Bears accomplished 3 things on Thursday night. They accomplished 3 things. The first, winning a game. It's very hard for us to do these days, but we did it. The second thing that we accomplished is we, got a better draft pick. That's huge because Carolina obviously has the Bears draft pick. They have the Bears draft pick, and it's currently the number 1 overall pick. And the Bears are, looking in good shape to get that number 1 spot, staying in the, number 1 overall pick sweepstakes. You could do with that. You can do a lot of things with that pick. Obviously, we traded for DJ Moore last year, and it's interesting to see if the Bears are going to want to draft a Drake May or Caleb Williams, probably Caleb, or to see if the Bears are going to want to, trade again. Maybe get another pass rusher or something else this time. But there's a lot they could do with this number 1 pick, and we're just hoping that the pick holds up. However, some mainstream media, particularly the Cow Guy, has been critical of the Bears for winning that game and becoming too good. And I'm going to do a calling them out segment because this is one of the dumbest things, the dumbest takes I have ever heard anyone make in the history of sports media at any level. So,
calling them out.
Congrats on the win, but is Chicago too good right now? The only standings and the only scoreboard the Chicago Bears should care about at all is the top 10 draft picks. They got 2 picks, but now Chicago's got 3 wins. So they're out of the Drake May, Caleb Williams sweepstakes. And let's be honest, Chicago has pieces. They have a very good tight end, a very good wide receiver, a very good tackle. In fact, I'd argue 2 capable tackles, a very top young defensive lineman, an interesting secondary. They need a quarterback and a head coach.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring in my co-host, a man who once took a shit in a phone booth without taking off his jacket. I just made that up. I'm sorry, Oren. I don't know how to do introductions to people. But hello, Oren. How's it going, man?
I'm doing all right.
Good. So, did you watch that Colin take?
I did not. And unfortunately, I did have a fever on Thursday, so I missed the game as well.
Oh, no, okay. Hey, I don't blame you. The main thing to me that the Bears, and I actually don't even remember if I already said this, but the Bears accomplished something. We pissed off America. They were all complaining about how boring of a game it was and how we shouldn't have to be subject to such a horrible, horrible game on Thursday Night Football. Hey, I can't complain because my team won. And if everyone else wants to whine about, the game not adhering to their arbitrary standards, that's fine with me. But I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to be happy because my team won a football game on Thursday night. No one else's team won on Thursday night. Only my team won.
First, Thursday night has never been a fun game. It's always looked. I mean, there are occasions where there's a good matchup, but infamously, Thursday night primetime games have always been one that people kind of look over.
Yes. They're notorious for sucking. Yes.
Don't know why people are shocked that like another Thursday game ends in a low scoring. Now, here's where I'm shocked. When I unfortunately, like everything I've read has been through like a highlight reel or, just looking at like some of the plays from the game. But my biggest takeaway was how bad Bryce Young looked. I'm gonna be quite honest.
He looked very bad. He looks very bad. And I know bad quarterback play when I see it. And I know he's a rookie and all that, but it's just like he's so small. He's tiny. And it's like Kyler Murray, you could tell like Kyler Murray's got a certain level of toughness. He's got a certain level of thickness. Obviously, Russell Wilson's small. Russell Wilson's also always been very thick. Kyler Murray, played second base for a while. Like he took some hard slides. Like he's a tough guy. I actually don't know if Bryce Young ever played baseball, but he certainly doesn't look like it. He's just a very small guy. And, I don't mean that as an insult, obviously. I'm a small guy, but like it's just, I mean, you played both sides of the line, offense and defense. Like, what does it mean? Like when a quarterback is small like that, like why is that such a limitation?
Well, there's two things. One, if your defensive line is tall, and most defensive linemen are about 6 foot, 6'2" in some occasions.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same issue Drew Brees they were worried about for many years was can he see over the line when his O and D line stand up? Does he lose some of his vision? Right. The ability to bat down a pass a little bit more if he doesn't arc it as much. That's obviously one. The second thing is usually, the smaller they are, the faster they are. And I can tell you, as a nose tackle, that's our least favorite thing. I'd rather have a quarterback that sits in the pocket because that gives me some time to get there. And if my outside linemen can get, my outside DNs can get there, it makes my life easier.
Of course.
When they're a speedster, it's the opposite. I know that my job is to force them out, and from there, it's a foot race.
Right.
So,
you're hoping your guys can contain him and whatnot.
So it's kind of like a hit or miss, right? You get a little bit more speed and that escapability in a smaller quarterback, but they tend to, I mean, with the exception of some like Drew Brees, you always are going to have exceptions. They do have that limitation of like the deep ball sometimes, the ability to see certain like aspects of a play because they just don't have the vision for it. If there's a bigger guy in front of them, they can't see it. Can't fix that.
I guess it also matters like how high your eyes are. Like you could be 6 feet tall, but if you have very high eyes, then it's like being 6'2".
I
don't think they measure that at the combine. But yeah, I noticed like it worked for Drew Brees because Drew Brees was constantly like he was always doing this, and like he was just a couple steps and just boom, throw it. Like he was always making those short, quick passes, and Drew Brees was he was a brilliant quarterback. Like he was really good at just figuring it out. Like the system that they ran in New Orleans worked for him. Obviously, Russell Wilson, more so, like he was also like a very smart, cerebral player back in his Seattle days, and he was very good because he was good at getting out of the pocket.
Exactly. So one of the benefits, like I said, by escaping the pocket, now he eliminates the lineman from like the vision aspect of it, and now he opens the field to what anybody can see. Right. So that's something, definitely that Russell Wilson got that like a player like Drew Brees didn't get.
Right, and this is something I do want to talk a little bit more about. Another itty bitty quarterback. I'm going to play the Colin Cowherd clip again because I want you to see it, and I want everyone to take it in. I'm just gonna, if this would work. All right,
congrats on the win, but is Chicago too good right now? The only standings and the only scoreboard the Chicago Bears should care about at all is the top 10 draft picks. They got 2 picks, but now Chicago's got 3 wins, so they're out of the Drake May, Caleb Williams sweepstakes. And let's be honest, Chicago has pieces. They have a very good tight end, a very good wide receiver, a very good tackle. In fact, I'd argue 2 capable tackles, a very top young defensive lineman, an interesting secondary. They need a quarterback and a head coach.
What up, Crazy Ace? Thanks for tuning in, man. Glad to have you part of our show. So Colin, Oren, I want to get your take on Colin's take there. Like, I want to hear what you have to say about that because I want to see if you see how stupid that is.
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
I also don't like Colin personally. I mean, I don't know him. I don't know him, but like the way he's stuck with the Giants drove me crazy. But here's my problem with it. There are some things I would say I agree with. I wouldn't say are they too good? Hell no. But do you have core pieces that I can see like your franchise building off of? I do. Do you have potential? I think so. The question for me with the Bears is, what are you guys going to do at quarterback? Yes, coaching. Yes, the management. We know that's the problem on like 14 different franchises right now that we can't even get started and finish in a like 12-week segment. But the point is, right now with what we got, what's the goal? Because you guys have the number one as of right now, and I don't think that's going away the way Bryce Young and this Carolina Panthers team is playing.
Exactly.
I don't know how that number 2 one that you guys have is going to fluctuate, but I don't see you guys winning a lot more games. I don't know what your schedule is, but actually, I can look at it. But
we'll talk a little bit about the schedule. But I want to bring up, like he was saying, the Bears are out of the Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Drake May sweepstakes, right? Like, by winning this game, he was talking about how it affects our draft stock, but the Panthers, we have the Panthers pick, and the Panthers have the number 1 pick, so we have the number 1 pick. How are we out of the number 1 pick sweepstakes? Like, to me, that's like this.
You know what I think it might be. You know what I think it might be. I don't think it was pick related, because he is a smart guy. And I don't think he would like overlook the fact you had the number 1 that would eliminate you. I think maybe he thinks that between Baggett and Justin Fields, there's enough competition now for who might be a starter that he doesn't think it's worth it for you guys to use those picks on a Caleb Williams decision.
No, he's saying we need a quarterback. I promise you. Like, he's like,
then if that's the case, I don't know.
No, it's just media negligence to be like, oh, the Bears, there's no way they're going to get a number 1 overall pick now when the Bears are the number 1 overall pick on the graphic that's on the screen. Like, it just absolutely makes no sense to me. And by the way, like, what we need right now is what the Bears need is for the Arizona Cardinals to win some games, to give some breathing room to the Panthers to lose more games. Kyler Murray's coming back, so hopefully, we're going to be rooting for the Cardinals in, like these next couple of weeks for sure, hoping that they keep winning and that the Panthers keep losing. Now, the Panthers' schedule is interesting because they're bad. Like, they're really, really bad. And they got to play the Panthers. They got to play – wait, no, they are the Panthers. They got to play the Cowboys. They got to play the Titans in Tennessee. The Bucks, that could go either way. Then the Saints, Falcons, Packers, who suck, the Jaguars, and then the Bucks again. I don't think they're going to win more than 2 or 3 of those games. I don't think there's any – like, I think they'll be lucky to win 1 or 2 of them. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't even think they'll get that.
Yeah. So I really don't think Bears fans need to worry about the number 1 pick anymore. Like, I mean,
no.
That's not entirely true. Obviously, I think, everyone wants the number 1 overall pick.
Because the reality is between those teams, between their upcoming games, Buccaneers, Falcons, and Saints are still all fighting for playoffs. So every game is vital. So they're going to play every game like it matters, even against the Panthers.
Of course.
I think the Packers might be the only irrelevant team on this list because they're not going to make the playoffs. But besides the Packers, everybody has a shot still. Tennessee technically, I guess, doesn't. But no, they still can. If they start winning out games, they can do it.
Yeah. No, I think the Titans, and I think really I'm most concerned about beating the like I don't care about these teams making the playoffs. I just care about the Panthers losing right now. And I what I mean is, like, obviously the number 1 pick isn't set in stone, but I do think it's absolutely still attainable, and there's a very good chance that the Bears get it. My question is to you, as an objective observer and a non-Bears fan, do you think that the Bears, if they do get the number 1 pick, do you think they should move off of Justin Fields and draft a Caleb Williams? Or would you suggest trading back and keeping Justin Fields and, just trying to keep letting him develop and grow?
That's a tough one. And here's why it's tough for me personally for 2 things. One, I don't watch a lot of college football, to be blunt. I have seen Caleb Williams play. I think he's talented as hell. I'm a little bit worried about some of the not even that, the family stuff that I've, like, the LeVar Ball type, like, management from his dad. I've kind of seen, and that throws me off a little bit. Like, if you're gonna go to the draft, you're gonna play for whoever drafts you, and you're gonna play your heart out. That's how it's always been. But that aside, I don't know, because Fields at the end of the day is only 24 years old.
Yeah.
It's not like we're talking about like a 27-year-old quarterback who's like should be like the prime or entering the prime. This is just he's young. And he hasn't had a lot of support in the recent years. So I don't know. I think if you do go away from him, though, you trade him. Like, it's not something where you're going to keep him in a back pocket. This is something where you're going to trade Justin Fields, get him maybe a more support for whichever quarterback you do bring in. And from there, good luck. But I don't know. This is going to have to be like a...
Yeah.
Only the management knows, because this is going to come down to like details that we don't get to see as fans. I think it's something. This is going to come down to like, how is he in the locker room? How does he get his team together?
And unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of trusting management too much, because the Bears management sucks. They often make the wrong decision. Personally, I'd say I would give Fields that 5th-year option, and continue to work with him, and see he still had so much potential, and I think that since he's got so much experience already, keep building on that, and just seeing what you have. Look, remember, Geno Smith took like 6 years to get good, and that used to be the norm. Quarterbacks used to take a while before getting good, and it's just not the case anymore. Like, people are so quick to give up. I'm hoping that the Bears continue to roll with Justin. However, if Caleb Williams really is as can't miss as everyone says he is, which I still don't quite buy in, then the Bears absolutely need to consider making that move.
Look, predicting what college QB is going to come in and spin the world is impossible.
It is. It really is.
People call Mahomes a bust, and they had the right to do so, and people called him a star, and they had the right to do so, and that's been happening since well before Tom Brady was picked with the last pick in the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Brady was picked 199.
And then Purdy was picked with the last one. And, it's not something you can predict. I think you draft.
Montana was a 3rd-round pick. Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round pick.
Yep. If you have a pick and you don't need another core piece in the 1st round, like if there's a player that you want, but you can get him in the 2nd or 3rd, and you're the quarterback, they're like, hey, I don't mind giving a shot to, and you have like a veteran QB or somebody who's not been like Heineke for like the Falcons.
Right. Heineke's also like an undrafted guy.
Yeah, but
Gardner Minshew is going to be a free agent. I'd be interested in him, like, honestly,
yeah.
At least as a backup.
I agree.
Although I do think Bagent kind of earned a backup role for sure.
I also think that too. I think Bagent also has potential. We'll talk about that another day, because that's something I would love to talk to you about.
Yeah.
But
no,
I mean, I don't know. I think if you're asking me if I'm the Bears right now with what I do know and stuff like that, I would say stick with Justin Fields. Let's draft somebody that can support him better.
Of course.
And let's fire the coach. Fire the coaching staff.
Honestly, I'm very tired of Eberflus and everything that he's done. It's just like, it's embarrassing. Like, it is. And, I took a lot of shit for this on the Chicago Clubhouse Network page when I said, like, it was kind of embarrassing to watch the Bears celebrate and by having a dance party after beating the Panthers on Thursday Night Football. Look, you won by a field goal against the worst team in the league at home, and it's just your 3rd win of the season. You're bad. You're not going anywhere. And look, I get it. Winning is hard. And, be happy after every win. Hell, I was happy to win. You should celebrate your wins, because winning is not easy.
Hey,
however,
there's more to that.
It doesn't feel right. It feels like it's a losing culture move, but that's just,
No, it's more than that. First of all, you guys were 1 win above them at the moment of time until they won, and then you guys were 2 games above. Besides the point, to build a winning culture, those are the moments you have to hype. So those players understand, especially the young, that your team has a lot of young talent. That's where you have to be like, this is what it feels like. Even in a shit, doesn't matter. Eagles have gotten through some games that we should have won by 30 points that we escaped by a field goal or a touchdown.
Right.
But point is, like, you got to celebrate the wins, especially when you're a younger team, especially when you have the backup quarterback, the backup, your star running back is out. Like, there's a couple of key missing players, and your team comes up with a win even against the Panthers, sure, but they're a fully healthy Panthers.
Yeah.
Like, there's no piece missing. You're not like Thielen was watching from the sideline in a cast. These guys were playing.
Yeah, no, look, I get it, and
you got to celebrate. You got to celebrate.
That's a fair point. There's an interesting way of looking at it. Like, you gotta, and I guess it is. It's hard to watch as a fan when like, because last year the Bears celebrated beating the Patriots, and then they lost every game for the rest of the season, and they didn't win another game for a full year. Like, so that's why I'm a little bit like, okay, well, are we really celebrating this? Like, that being said, I get it. Like, you want to promote that feeling of just like that ecstasy that comes from winning a game. And over here we got Crazy Ace saying that he thinks the Bears will surprise us and win 3 more games, which I wouldn't rule it out. Like, I really would not rule that out. I could see, I mean, I wouldn't call 6-11 a good year by any means, but I could see that happening because look, the Lions twice is not going to be easy. I don't think we're going to win either of those. We might sneak by on December 10th. Vikings, maybe, without Kirk Cousins, it's possible. But then we play the Cardinals and the Falcons. I could definitely see us winning those two. And then the Packers, well, the Packers always have our number. But, hey, I'll be, regardless of our draft position, I'll be rooting for us that day. So, yeah, I could see 5-12. I could see 6-11, like he's saying. I don't know. What do you think?
I can see that too. I just hope that they give Bagent like the Bagent, sorry, the full Bagent,
like Agent
the full green light. I want to see this kid make mistakes. I don't care, but
Fields is going to come back and play,
Yeah. Until he plays, let this kid play and show what he's got. Because there are moments where he looks really good, and there are moments where I'm like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Well,
but again, he's a rookie.
Someone you said he reminds me of Taylor Heineke, but he's just very much a wild card.
He's a wild card, but the difference is he's a rookie on a very beat down, not just like physically, but morally team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's hard to come into that and make it a winning situation. Like I didn't expect him to come in, do what Will Levis did, and for the Titans, and then, I mean, to be honest, he didn't back it up the next game. I'll tell you that.
Well, Will Levis against the Steelers, he wasn't terrible.
No, but it wasn't like, oh my God, he's 4 touchdowns.
He's going up. It's a rough offense going up against the toughest defense in the league. I think Will Levis really performed well.
I like Will Levis. I don't think that wasn't meant to like bash him. I don't think he has a lot of potential, but he also has DeAndre Hopkins. He has like a lot. Henry. He has talent. Yeah, he has talent. So I don't know. I'm not hating on any Bears right now in terms of like how things are going. It's gonna be a really big off-season question mark. It's gonna be. It'll come down to who you guys draft. It'll come down to maybe free agency a little bit, how much you guys want to spend.
And we have a lot to spend, that's for sure. There's gonna be a lot.
Going out and grabbing, like every year, even as an Eagles fan, like. You see a big team pull a big player, and you're like, "Why haven't we done that? Like, why?" I get that we're comfortable with our team, but why?
Always the big players.
But that's not the point. The point is like you always want more, right? Like,
yeah, no, I get it.
Look what the 49ers did. Look what and look what the Niners did. They basically just turned around and did what we did, but brought in Chase Young was a killer.
And we got Montez Sweat, so you're welcome. I know who gave you some trouble.
That's talent. Those are the moves that Bears have to make if they want to change their way.
And that's why I was very happy with that move. Not so happy with the Claypool move last year, but I was very happy. Well, at the time, I was happy, but I regret being happy about that because that was the worst move ever.
If fully healthy with the right moves this offseason, at the very least, you guys are, even if you don't make playoffs, you guys are going to be better than the Packers. I'll tell you that.
Dude, I hope so. That's really all I'm hoping for. Like, whatever happens in the Super Bowl, the playoffs, that's bullshit. Like, I want to beat Green Bay. I just want to be better than Green Bay every year. That's what matters. That's the important thing. But yeah, definitely we got some exciting Bears games ahead. Exciting because I am a Bears fan and I always enjoy watching my team, even when we suck, because we only play 17 times a year. And, I like to make the most of those times that we play football. Now, that being said, we got even more exciting things ahead, just in the context of being a football fan. And that is, we got Sunday tomorrow, a couple hours. They're going to be kicking off in Germany, the Indianapolis Colts.
Couple hours? What time is the game at?
The game is at 6:30 a.m. our time.
12 hours. I got to do all my fantasy lineups before that game starts.
No, same. No, we got we got the Colts going up against New England. This should be an interesting one. It's in Germany. Both teams are pretty bad. Well, I think the Colts are frisky. The Patriots are kind of bad, but they, still Belichick still could shock people. Who are you taking in this game? The line right now is -1.5 in favor of the Colts.
Dude, I am tired of the Belichick. I get it. He was great, but he did. There needs to go into the new era. And it's not going to involve him. It's not going to involve the Patriots being a strong team for a while. I think Colts are going to win this game. They have 10 times more talent currently. I think Mac Jones might be the most below average QB of all time. And I don't know why they haven't even you drop Zap. I'm a huge fan of like of not doing what the Patriots did, which is you drop Zappy, you pick him back up, and then your Mac Jones has not proven in any capacity that he's going to be the guy. So why not play Zappy?
Yeah, no,
I mean, don't get me wrong, he hasn't proved it either, but like it's not going to get worse than this. Like it's just
honestly,
not.
I think the Patriots might be tanking, Oren.
Yeah,
I think they want their next quarterback, and I
I
think
don't
that
know.
they're trying to
They
suck
should
a
go for
little bit.
They can go for Caleb Williams. Who cares?
Yeah.
I think Colts are winning this game, dude. They're better.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. It's real tough because those teams both suck. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the Patriots. I think because I feel like this is just gonna be a really weird game with a lot of turnovers and fumbles and weird special team shit. I'm gonna take the Patriots to win. You know, a slight upset, 17-13. Just because like the Colts are pretty inconsistent too, and the Patriots like they beat the Bills. I don't know. You never really know what you're getting with either. These teams are very. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're wild card worthy. I don't think either team will make the wild card, but they are wild cards in the sense of you don't really know what you're going to get with them week to week. Now, here's a game that I think is really exciting, and some people might disagree with me, but the line is currently Niners -3 in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. How do you feel about this one, Oren?
Okay, this is gonna be a hard one. Correct me if I'm wrong. They both just came off a bye week, right?
I think you're right.
Or were Jaguars a Thursday game last week?
I don't think the Jaguars were the Thursday game this time around.
They were a bye week, right?
I think. Let me see.
Sorry, I'm having an absolute fart right now.
No, yeah, they were on a bye week.
Okay.
They beat the Steelers 2 weeks ago.
So both teams are on a bye week. It just came off a bye week, so that kind of eliminates that. I think 49ers really needed a bye week. Because Debo needed to just sit down for a while. That whole team was getting a little bit of a losing streak going on. Okay, They're back from the bye week. They've had their new acquisition for a week now, so he's definitely been at least kind of entered into the play.
Of course.
Who do I think is going to win this game? Man, this is a tough one. I actually think 49ers are going to win the game. I think if Debo is healthy, which I don't know if they've released that yet, but I can't make a prediction based on a potential. Just based on it, I'm gonna say that 49ers are gonna win this game.
I'm with you on that, and I think that I'll even take them to cover. I'd probably take them straight up if I was a betting man, but I think they will cover and win one of those 20, like a 24-20 game. Really, it should be a really good one. It's fun. We got the first pick of a draft versus the last pick of a draft. But the Niners they're just overall a better team, I think. But this is a real test for the Jaguars. It's going to be interesting to see how they do. Because I do think the Jaguars are still one of the top teams in the AFC, which still feels weird to say. But yeah, Crazy Ace, just to credit your comments. Yeah, I think the Bears will be out of the top 5, but the Panthers will be number 1, which is why I'm still very excited for the draft. And Anthony Stewart, what up, man? Always good to have Amp tune into the show. Glad you're here.
How's it going, Anthony?
But yeah, I'm with you. I do like the Jaguars to win this game. I like the Jaguars. They're fun. Then we got a couple teams who are fringe, fighting for a wild card spot. This game has some playoff implications.
I mean, it's early enough for a lot of games. We'll still have playoff implications.
Oh, no, of course. But like these are two teams. I think they're both 5-4. We got the Vikings going into Minnesota to play the Saints. Two teams, they have a lot of history together. They've played a lot of big playoff games. Brett Favre's last playoff pass interception, 2009, 2010. And then, they had the Minneapolis Miracle 2017. So, and Kirk Cousins' first playoff win came in New Orleans against the Saints too. So, these teams have, they have some somewhat recent historical bad blood. And, I'm excited for this game. It's a fun game between two teams that are both 5-4. I believe the Saints are 5-4. Let me double check. The Saints are 5-4 because they beat us last week. So yeah, big game. What do you take away from it? And who do you, Saints are favored -3 in Minnesota. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm happy for Dobbs and they're home, but they're not doing it again. This is going to be the Saints all the way. Derek Carr is good enough. That offense is good enough. Alvin Kamara is it. I love him. Talented. That defense can get it done sometimes. And I just think against a very depleted Vikings, they're going to get it done. Justin Jefferson was not activated off IR, if I'm correct. So
I think you're right about that.
So he is not going to be a go. I'm really happy James Connery is on a side note. Yeah, he won't be. I think Hutchinson might even be questionable going into tomorrow. I don't know. I just there's too many things. I'm taking.
It's a bold take. Yeah.
That is a bold take, Ant. I'm definitely taking the Saints in Minnesota, though.
Yeah, it is interesting that the Saints are favored in Minnesota. And I think it's because, more experienced quarterback who's been working with the team for longer. And I do like that Saints defense, even though the Bears were able to, poke some holes in them, dot them up a bit. Vikings like to blitz a lot. Derek Carr's experience, good at, reading that kind of thing, although not unstoppable. Man, this game feels like such a push for me. It really feels like a push.
Yeah,
I'm going to take...
It's not going to... No way it ties out.
You don't think Josh Dobbs is going to do it again? Yeah, I'm with you. I am with you. I really am. I think it'll be close, though. I think it'll be 19-17. So I take the Saints to win, not cover.
I'll take it on a close game. Game.
Give me a score.
I think it'll be a little bit worse than that. I think it's going to be like 31-17. But
ooh, okay. All right. I like it. Then we got the two teams in desperate need of a win. They're both, they've both been underachieving this season. Titans going to Tampa Bay. Someone told me that this week's slate was bad. This week's slate is good. These are exciting games, evenly matched teams. I'm excited. So who do you like here?
Titans and Tampa Bay, huh?
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay are still fighting for a playoff spot. They're only 2 games down from Saints, and if Ant's pick is right, they're only the potential to be 1 game away.
And I think they still have to play the Saints.
And they still have to play it correct.
Yeah.
And even though Atlanta's ahead of them, they're not a scary team. So
that's true.
With that said, Bucks look good. However, do we trust in Will? Like,
I don't know, man. I do trust Will. I don't know if I trust him yet.
I don't know either. It's just
I think he's the guy. I don't think he's the guy yet.
I think he'll be the guy. I do think they found their quarterback, that someone they can start moving to, and then maybe use draft picks to build around right now.
He reminds me of Matthew Stafford.
He does. Yes, he does. He's bulky, he's strong, but he does have
like he does like the sidearm thing, like
the sidearm, yeah.
Like he's really like that's my closest comp.
Like Stafford, Big Ben type. I don't know. I don't think he can do it in a game that matters this much against a team that's very, very not mature. I have the words not coming to me. God. They've all been in the league for a while. They've played together. They played together for a while. They know. I mean, those 3 have played the big 3 there, and Baker Mayfield has found something in Auden. So I don't know. I think Buccaneers just are more talented offensively and have it a little bit more figured out than the Titans do, and that's why I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
Look, and oh man, it's tough. The line is -2.5 for a reason, because it is expected to be close. I think
losing Byard hurt.
What'd you say?
Losing Byard to the Eagles also is going to hurt.
That is true. That is very true. I think the Titans defense is playing well. Bucks defense is. They really blew it last week against the Texans. That's for sure. They really blew it, and I think they'll get it together in time for this game, and I do think they're going to win. Although I could see a situation where I think Mike Vrabel is an outstanding coach, and I actually like Todd Bowles, but I don't think he's. I could see a situation where, it's going to come down to defense. I really think it's going to come down to defense, and I think the Bucs are going to make one more play. Both 2 cocky quarterbacks, and I like cocky for my quarterbacks, by the way, going up against each other. You got Levis and Baker Mayfield, both, a little bit punky, which is great in Chicago. We love punky QBs. I like the Bucs to win this game in a close, maybe a little bit of a field goal frenzy. Let's say 22-19. And then we got, this is the first game that looks easy on paper, but it's a rivalry game. We got the Cleveland Browns going into Baltimore to play the Ravens. But really, the Browns, obviously, the Ravens are the Browns. Like the original Browns moved to Baltimore to become the Ravens. And then the new Browns were born as ghosts and, shadows of their former selves. So, I mean, the Ravens have owned this rivalry ever since the Browns were reborn. And I don't think that's going to stop. I'm taking, it's -6.5. I like the Ravens to win and cover. Although, I think Myles Garrett is just an absolute beast and like an X factor. I'm actually not even going to say cover now that I think about it. I'm going to say 23-20 Baltimore. What do you think?
Oh, I love Baltimore in this. I love Baltimore so much, but God, the Browns have become the league's like Achilles heel of predictions.
Dude, that defense.
I swear to God, the defense is one thing. I mean, they're consistently good, but you never know how many stops they can make. It's where their offense is kind of like one game they explode, one game they're like, no, this is the Browns that went 0-16. Like, Deshaun Watson's healthy-ish now, and he's playing, and he looked okay. And when healthy, and Njoku's healthy, and Cooper is healthy, and they're all healthy, it's a dangerous team down there.
Oh yeah,
but damn, it's so hard. It's so easy to pick against them, and it's so easy for me to trust my gut and say the Ravens are going to dominate like they've been doing. But every part of me that keeps wanting to say that right now keeps screaming Browns.
The first time this game was played, okay, look, I'm just going to take you through the Browns' unbelievable season so far. Because look, week 1, they just shit all over the Bengals, 24-3. Week 2, the Steelers beat them in a very close game, 26-22, as Mike Tomlin often does in these divisional games. Then they go and they just wreck the Titans, just obliterate them, 27-3. And then 28-3, shout out Falcons fans, Ravens over the Browns the next week. Right?
Who was the
house? We saw them beat the Niners on a last-second field goal miss.
Who was the QB in that game?
In which game?
The Ravens-Browns first matchup.
I believe it was PJ Walker, but let me double check.
Was it PJ Walker?
No, it was Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Never mind.
Oh, it's even worse. Okay.
Yeah, even worse.
And then there's a big difference because now they're bringing in their quarterback, even though I'm not a big fan of
that Ravens defense. That Ravens defense is wild.
They are. They're delicious, and I mean that as like a defensive player. They're like scrumptious.
Oh no, they are scrumptious. And look, shout out Roquan Smith. I always loved him as a Bear. I'm sorry you didn't fit the scheme, and so we had to trade you.
I'll tell you,
I'm saying take the Browns. This guy, Amp, who I love, is saying take the Browns.
Right, Amp, right? I think Amp feels me. It's one of those things where it's like something about this matchup just screams that the Browns might pull a hell of a win. It'll be a big win because that puts them back. I mean, they're already in contention to me like a wild card, but that puts them back in contention to take the division.
Really, the only bad game the Browns have played all year was their loss to the Ravens when they had Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting. Then, they lose to the Seahawks by 4.
But that was PJ Walker.
Yeah, and that was, I think that was, I guess he goes by Phillip now, but yeah, that was Phillip Walker.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. But,
Walker.
But yeah, no, I get it, man. But the Ravens are like,
I know.
I could apply to the Ravens. Like
that's my problem.
They are so good and fun to watch. And like, I could just look. I don't know why they're getting 6.5. That's one thing I'll say. I'll 100% say take the Browns to cover 6.5. Like that feels like a steal to me.
Yeah.
But
for an official pick, I'm gonna trust my gut, and my gut just saying Browns. I don't like it because
this is an exciting. This is the game of the week to me.
It's me too. I'm excited for this game. Just talking about it, like I don't even.
Yeah. No, I'm getting all hyped up.
Like whatever you guys do, if you're gonna bet on it, don't for this pick. Don't go off me. I don't have confidence, but like the Browns, man. Something about Garrett, I think is gonna go off.
Dude, he's insane. He's gonna
go off.
I hope. I've been wanting him to get bored of Cleveland for so long, so the Bears could just trade for him. I want him to be like, I'm done.
Oh, Stewart, 100%. Sorry, I called you by your last name, Ant.
Yeah. No,
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
No.
6 is too much.
Yeah. It's hard to go against the Ravens, but 6.5. Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, I'm with you there, Amp, as well.
Unless we get injuries we don't know about. But
yeah,
I didn't see anything on the.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that could be.
Newsome is
Watson's
questionable.
playing, right? Like Deshaun's playing.
Yeah, he's not on their injury report. The only one on their injury report that matters is that would affect this is Greg Newsome, but he's been questionable. I think a couple weeks already. And he's still played. So I think he's one of those like day-to-day kind of injuries. But yeah, so I think he's fine.
All right, so that's going to be a fun one. Obviously, I think 6.5 is I think that's kind of crazy. It's just too much. So I say again, Ravens win, but Browns cover. Now Texans going in to Cincinnati. This is also an exciting game, but I mean, look, what?
I can't do it, Jay.
Yeah,
CJ is my boy.
Yeah, I mean, he gives me hope for Justin Fields one of these days, but man, he's just come in. And by the way, in the 32-person league that Tonio has been running for us on CCN, I think I still have a good record, and I think it's because CJ Stroud is my guy. Like, I lucked into getting him. But yeah, I mean, look, he just had this unbelievable win against the Bucs. Now they're going to go into Cincinnati. Now, I think I'll give you my pick first. I think the Bengals will win this one pretty handily. I agree, Anthony. Stay away from the Texans game. I would not bet this game if I was a betting man. But I feel like it could be a trap. That said, the Bengals are finally kicking into gear. They're in 4th place. They absolutely need a win. And I think the Texans are still that game had to take a lot out of them. I like the Bengals to win. Somewhat exciting, but gets away from the Texans at the end. I'm going to say 31-20.
So I'm with you 100%. I can talk all day about how much I love CJ Stroud, and I think what they're building right now between him, Nico Collins, Dell, Schwartz is their tight end, of talent,
pristine
offensively. Don't get me started, but and I know what he did last week, and no one predicted it, but this Bengals team is just better.
They are,
and it's now or never because they already kind of gave up what they can afford to give up. They have to win out the rest of the season.
The Bengals are truly a team that is built for October, November, not September. And Joe Burrow's built that way. He always starts the season slow, or traditionally has. And I think this is where the Bengals really start to kick it into gear and start looking like actual Super Bowl contenders. You can never rule them out. Not with Joe, and not with this, this always solid defense.
I'm also going to go against, I'm going to go with Vegas here too and say this. With the Texans is a game they have to win because even if they somehow don't make playoffs, I feel like those games are going to come at the hand of the Ravens, the Jaguars potentially, but definitely the Chiefs and the Browns at the end of the season can do some damage against them and ruin their chances.
Yeah, that's a tough schedule.
I don't think the Texans are that team that when you look at their schedule and something that can stop them from making a playoff push, they're not going to be the ones to do it.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a fun game, and I hope.
Look, most of the time, this would feel like a trap game for a team like the Bengals. But I feel like with Joe Burrow, there aren't really any trap games. Joe Burrow, he's too meticulous. He's too this is true about the Bengals. Easy. This is when they catch fire. Yeah, and I appreciate that. It's just Joe Burrow. He's very detail oriented. If you just watch him play ball, is he's gonna. This is the kind of game that the Bengals kind of put the Texans in their place, I think. Mm-hmm. But then again,
I hope it becomes a shootout, but I do believe it's going to be a little bit more contained than people think it might be.
Yeah. So you're taking the Bengals to cover 6.5?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Then we got another semi-interesting game. But only because I'm going to be rooting for the Steelers, obviously, when they host the Packers. Packers 3-5, not a great season for them so far. Jordan Love, maybe he's not the guy after all, but who knows? A lot of people might say that it's the offensive line's fault or the coach's fault. By the way, something I do, Oren, and I'll say this while we're still in Bears territory, is I'm not going to tell Packers fans that I don't believe in Jordan Love because I want them to have that I want them to suffer that internal debate of, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? Like I want them to go through that. Like I want them to feel that. I don't think he is, obviously.
I don't think he is.
But I'm not going to tell them that. They could watch my show if they want to figure out that I don't think so. I'm going to let them believe what they want to believe. But yeah, the Packers are 3-5. The Steelers, I believe they're 4-4. Let me double check on that.
5-3.
They're 5-3. Oh shit! Wow, I didn't realize they were. The Steelers are always like a quiet 5-3. I feel like they're always.
Yeah, because they're probably one of the most boring 5-3 teams in the league.
Hey man, I would love to be a boring 5-3 right
That's
now.
fair.
And all their they got drubbed by the Texans early on, and they got spanked by the 49ers, and they kind of got the shit kicked out of them by the Jaguars. But at home against a bad Packers team, I think they're going to win. I think Steelers will win this game. I like them winning by. They're only favored by a field goal. I think they'll cover 24-17. Pretty standard game. What about you? What?
Do I have to? I hate this. I hate everything about this game. I'm definitely not going to be watching this game or betting on this game. Yeah, I mean, man.
And the spread on Packers Steelers is -3. Steelers favored, which feels a little low, but
no, it sounds about right. I think it's going to be a 14-12, dude. I don't even.
Cool.
What's like a fun low number?
You want a scoregami here? I'll give you a scoregami.
Give me a scoregami, man. Let's see it. Let's see. Pull up the scoregami.
NFL scoregami. Let's see. Ooh, how about 15-11?
I like that. 15-11. What is that like?
11. That's a good one. That's a good scoregami.
Was that 7?
So you're taking the Steelers though?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers against my intuition that somehow they're gonna choke this game.
Here, you want a real shit show? You want a real shit show? I know you want a real shit show. We got the Falcons going into Arizona to play the Cardinals.
Oh, this is America's game of the week.
America's game of the week, baby. The two Redbirds that both suck ass. The ass-sucking Redbirds. That should be both their nicknames.
The ass suckers.
Yeah, just the ass-sucking Redbirds.
Okay. Well, Cardinals are clearly fighting for a playoff spot at 1-8, and
I'm going to be rooting hard for them. Obviously,
I'm gonna be rooting hard for one guy in particular, and that's James Conner, because I've waited patiently for him to come back from IR, and I'm really excited that he's back from IR.
Kyler Murray's coming back.
I have dropped 4 games since he's gone on IR.
Oh Jesus! Well, I'm hoping to get these 6 touchdowns.
Wait, Falcons. Murray's coming back. I think that's.
You think that the Falcons will win because Murray's coming back? That's hilarious. Look, I mean, Anthony, I'm not laughing at you. I just think that's funny. Like,
no, I'm laughing. I'm laughing with you.
Last week. They started something called a Clayton Tune.
I don't even know who he was.
Clayton Tune. I'm sure you're a good guy.
When they traded Dobbs, I was like, okay, it's fine. Murray's starting. And when they announced that Murray wasn't starting, I'm like, who's starting? I was like, yeah, I'm like, are they gonna? Are they is Tom Brady coming out of retirement for one game? Bro?
Oh my god! No, this is really funny.
I think, man, I want to say Arizona because Heineke's, and at least they're getting their quarterback back. But man, I don't even know why they're bringing him back at this point. Like,
I'm hoping I hope he balls the fuck out. Honestly.
I hope he balls out too, but like, why not just protect your asset? I mean, this guy gets injured every year. Put him on a 16-week IR here.
Arizona's the kind of team that should be tanking.
They're doing a good job at it.
Yeah, no, honestly, no one respects Murray on the Cardinals. Yeah,
dude, no one respects Murray. Like, period. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But hey,
done anything.
Hey, look, if there's a team where Kyler Murray could run around and scramble and make stupid, dumb, amazing plays against, it's the Atlanta Falcons. Like, the Atlanta Falcons
I was gonna say
they're the clown show of the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
look,
I don't really know what to expect.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals because I do feel like he's gonna come out and show something. Because if he doesn't, I think they're gonna draft a quarterback this year. Regardless of what round that quarterback gets drafted, they're drafting a quarterback and they're moving on.
It's tank season for the Arizona Cardinals. All right, I agree. I'm gonna take the Cardinals to win 23-20 in a good game that no one watches.
Mainly because Heineke's not it. That's my only reason. I don't think
That's
that's
a fair
if Ritter
assessment.
started, you can convince me. I still like Ritter. I know he's made mistakes, but I still like Ritter.
Speaking of kind of clown shows in the NFL, we got the Lions going up. Well, the Lions aren't the clown show anymore. The Chargers are the clown show. You never know what you're getting with the Chargers. Lions are. I think the Lions definitely they lead the division right now, and I think they have 2 losses. Yeah, they're 6-2 going against the 4-4 Chargers.
And they're off a bye week.
I think the Lions are off a bye week.
Chargers are not. They lost last week, right?
Chargers won. They beat the Jets on Monday Night Football.
You're right.
Terrible game. Well, I liked it. I like the Chargers.
I missed that game too.
It's a pretty bad game. Lions are coming off a bye week. They just beat the Raiders on Monday Night Football, October 30th.
I mean, let's talk about it. Are Chargers still playing for a playoff spot? I think so.
Absolutely, they're 4-4. It's too early to give up on the Chargers.
Absolutely. Are Detroit still playing for one? Yes, with number 1 in their division. So in terms of like what they're chasing, it's still both there.
Yep.
Talent wise,
but
are there? While you talk for a second, let me look up like injury reports for this game.
Yeah, David Montgomery's coming back, which is big for the Lions. Although Jahmyr Gibbs is still a really good player, probably going to get some carries. They'll probably split some time. I like Montgomery. There's a reason I drafted him in my league because I know he's good at football, and I do think that helps the Lions a lot. That said, the Chargers are like they have more recognizable players than I think any team in the NFL, right? Like they have more players who your average football fan knows who they are, right? Like everyone knows who Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. On defense, they know about Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. I'd argue most people know Kenneth Murray, but he's not as popular, of course. Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr. Like they have a lot of dudes. They got a lot of dudes. That being said, winning is not always easy for these guys. I think this game is going to be a push. The Lions are favored by -3, and I like the Chargers to win still. I still think the Chargers are going to get it done. It's close. It's going to come down to the wire, but I'm going to say 27-26.
Okay. I kind of like that. I'll say that Chargers are down 2 wide receivers.
Mike Williams.
And Palmer.
Okay.
So that hurts, and they're already struggling offensively as it is with a really powerful offense. Damn, but Detroit might not have. I can't pronounce his name, so I don't want to say it wrong. Onwuzurike, their defensive end, who's really good. No, I don't know. I think the Lions are better. I think the Lions are going to win it.
Yeah, maybe. I get it. I think the Lions are. Again, this game could absolutely go either way, and the Lions are pretty damn good. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. I consider going to this game. Seems like a fun one. Then finally, we got more of a funny one. We got the Giants going into Dallas. The Cowboys are favored by -17. They're favored by 17.5. I think they'll cover. The Giants are bad. It's Tommy DeVito. I like the Cowboys. Like 34-10, 41-10. Look, they already laid the whooping on poor Danny Jones. I can't imagine what they're going to do to Tommy. What do you think? You got the Cowboys, of course.
I just can't say it.
Oh, you hate the Cowboys. Yeah. Oren hates the Cowboys. He feels about them like I do the Packers, of course. But yeah, what do you give me a score at least? Give me a score.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a score. 100-0.
Okay, cool. 100-0.
No, I don't think. I mean, it's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be gross.
Ugly game. And yeah, Dallas is probably gonna win it. If they don't, that would be hilarious, though. I'm a root for the Giants. Look,
let me tell you. If you're gonna bet cover the spread. They're not gonna get. It's not gonna be less than 17. But if the Giants pull some out of their ass and win this game, I am personally sending my address. I'm posting my address, and everyone's coming for a house party. I don't care.
Dude, I'm down. I'll even say your address. I know it off the top of my head. It's Just kidding. But yeah, I think that
Project X is gonna happen here if Giants beat the
look,
Dallas.
I'm down. I don't even like. Yeah, no, I'll look if the Giants win. I'll Venmo a Giants fan $1. How about that? That's what I'll do. All right, then let's see. Washington Commanders going into Seattle to play the Seattle Seahawks. Both of these teams, fun fact, both of these teams are the Washington football team. Washington kind of traded everybody away. Seattle's favored by only 5.5 points. I think they're going to cover that. I mean, Howell's been playing pretty well, and Washington does have some players, but I do think Seattle's just the overall better team. I take them to win by a touchdown. I'm gonna say 31-24. What about you?
What was the spread?
It's minus 5.5 in favor of Seattle.
No, it'll be more. I think Seattle has a lot to come out and prove after the butt whooping they took last week.
Absolutely.
Because while they're 6-2, right?
I think they're 6-2, 5-3. Let me look it up to be sure. Which FanDuel just had the records? They're 5-3. So they're effectively tied. Well, they are tied for first with the Niners. The Niners have the tiebreaker.
So they look like a very weak 5-3 after last week's blowout. And don't get me wrong, 5-3 is 5-3.
The Browns got blown up by the Lions got blown up by the Ravens. The Browns got blown up. Like the Ravens are kicking out.
But Seattle is scary offensively. Like
it can be.
Their rookies are doing Bo and I'm not gonna say that one's name because it's really close. They're both really talented players. Kenneth Walker's a beast when he gets the runs. It's always been my question mark. Najigba?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a hard one to say. Yeah.
It's just a hard one to say. I don't know the full three.
Right.
I think it's 3 parts
Jackson
or something.
Smith Najigba.
Something like that.
That's a trap.
Yeah. And so they're talented. It's always been Geno to me. And of course the defense as of late. But like Geno to me too. It's like, can Geno be the guy that takes him to a playoff or wins a playoff game and even more? And I don't think he is. And to me, that's going to be their like Achilles heel season in, season out. And you have Lockett in his prime, Metcalf in his prime. He's young talent, and they're
Lockett's a little old for his prime, but he's still very good.
But he's still producing. I mean, the only reason this is the first year that he's been kind of lackluster. Right. I don't think it's been because of him. I think it's just been the way this offense has looked at times. It's just been dreadful. And I think part of that does fall on Geno. And I think when you look at it in this game, this has to be I mean, it doesn't have to be this specific game, but like these are the kind of the easier games, especially with Commanders kind of shipping out their team. This is going to be the game where you have to come out and kind of do what Ravens just did to you. You got to come out here and be like, yo, I got some of the best receivers in the league. I got one of the best running backs in the league. You know what? I trust my quarterback, even though a lot of people don't. Let's show that we can score 4 to 5 touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, you got to really go out there and establish their dominance. Like that's really the big thing.
So I actually have Seattle well over. Like I think it's gonna be like a 12-point win.
I can see it.
I think Seattle winning. I think they're gonna come out and show that they're a doggy.
Yeah,
or if they don't, they're gonna be little poodles.
Yeah, right. No offense to poodles. No offense to Brownie, Oren's dog.
Not a poodle. Shih Tzu.
Yeah, but he looks like he's small, like a poodle.
Oh yeah, he's a tiny ass dog.
Yeah, but I like the Yeah, I'm with you. I like Seattle to win. I'm gonna say. Wait, what did I say? I think I already said it. I think I said 31-24. And yeah, I'll stand by that. Maybe garbage time touchdown for the Commanders or something. But yeah. Then we got just the shit bowl. We got the New York fucking dumbass Jets against the loser ass Raiders. And this is coming from a Bears fan, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, how are we feeling there? We don't need to talk about this longer. I'm just gonna take the Jets to win and call it a day. 20-19.
Dude, Jets?
Sure.
Hell no, I'm taking Max Crosby all day. I love Max Crosby. I love Max Crosby. So I'm gonna take Vegas.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm gonna take Vegas.
Fire their coach to have some energy.
I'm gonna take Vegas 20-6. I'm gonna give Zerliner 2 field goals and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, wow. Zach Wilson's as good as my grandmother.
You've already convinced me. Like I'm almost like, oh, fuck. I almost regret taking the Jets like immediately.
I'll take. I mean, I don't even know who's. I don't even care if it's Jimmy G or the O'Connor,
Aiden
whatever.
O'Connell, yeah.
I don't even care. I'll take a penguin. It'll be
You know
better
what?
than Zach Wilson.
The Jets are currently favored by 1. You know what? I'm gonna do a take backsies.
Because everyone's like their defense is so good. Their defense.
I'm gonna take
the
Raiders.
That, but
I'm gonna take the Raiders 14-9. No, 17-9.
mind you, Raiders also have momentum. I know that the last game wasn't the craziest win, and it doesn't. But like, it's a win, and they felt
Wait,
good.
this game is oh my god. Jets
What?
Raiders is Sunday Night Football because they thought it would be Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, and that's exactly why I'm also not watching this game.
Oh my god!
I actually have a Sunday night off because
oh my god, that's terrible. That's
actually I'm probably gonna have some fantasy lineups that have to do with this game, but
oh my god. Well, yeah, no, I'll tune in. I got Devontae in one of my leagues, so
whatever you do, take the under on the yards, total yards.
I think the over under score wise, like total is 36.5, which means they're predicting like that's 18 aside.
Like 7 pick sixes, like
yeah, right. Like
because they're not scoring offensively. There's no way.
They're predicting like total. That makes sense. Like that's such a trap, but like yeah, I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like that makes sense. Like a 20-17 game makes some sense. But like if they're lucky, I don't know. Both teams suck ass.
I say Max.
I do have Brees Hall, so I'm hoping Brees Hall has a good game.
Zach Wilson for a fumble that leads to a touchdown and 2 pick sixes. That's my prediction.
Zach Wilson for he's gonna
didn't was
hey,
it?
You know what? How about this? How about the Raiders win 4-0 on 2 safeties?
Yeah, that'd be hysterical. Actually, that'd be the funniest thing ever.
That'd be great. Yeah. I've been wanting that for years. So.
For even just a safety. If it was a 2-0 win, dude, I would lose it. I'd be like, this is the greatest game.
But 2-0, the thing is 2-0 has happened. Just talking scoregami wise, I want my 4-0 game.
4-0, okay.
I want my 4-0.
On a note though, I don't know if it was fake news that I saw. I didn't actually do any research on it. Did Saleh say something about Zach Wilson starting? Like where he kind of agreed.
No, he just said like I don't know why Zach Wilson's a starter. I plead the fifth.
Yeah,
so, I imagine
you're the quarterback. You dumb piece of.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not the quarterback. You're the coach. You're the coach.
It's just not good. And look, I know Zach Wilson isn't very good right now.
Who's the backup? Don't say Aaron Rodgers or somebody.
It's not Rodgers. I know it's someone. It's a name.
Like, who cares? The point is, it's not Zach Wilson. Give him a shot.
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
How old is he? Unless he's 40.
Been in the league for a while. I feel like he's a veteran. I know he played for the Bears.
Oh, they have Trevor Siemian.
He played for the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers.
Tim Boyle's 29. Dude, I don't care. Go on eBay right now and look.
Dude, what about us? You and me in the trench coat.
Dude, I'd probably do just as bad as Zach Wilson. So I'll take that. That's a compliment. If he gets $9 million a year, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You can pay me.
I would love to get $9 million.
Bro, you guys could pay me $900K and I'll throw games too. Don't worry about it.
Honestly, like for the league minimum, I will suck at football for your team. Like easily.
And I won't feel bad.
I won't feel bad at all. I'll take the ball. I'll punt it every time I take the snap.
You'll see me in a press conference.
I'll immediately punt the ball and then just like curl it to the field position. That's what I'll do.
This will be me. We had a good performance. We did really well. I struggled to throw the ball more than 3 yards today.
But look, we're just taking it one game at a time. We're just getting better. We should keep punting it.
No, I'm serious. Though. They should honestly just go on eBay, pick up anybody they can pick up, and just let them start.
I'd let Zach start the rest of the season. I don't even care at this point. But I guess we're gonna see more Zach. Look,
he makes me want to cry though.
No, I know he's bad. He's not fun to watch. I still
every moment that he looks. There are moments where he looks like, oh, maybe, and somehow he just throws it. Like there's like,
he's got a great arm.
It's like if you watch an animated version of Zach Wilson, it's like every time he does something good, he's putting a nice like golden chalice or some treasured item into this beautiful mansion. But what you don't see until the next scene of the clip is that it's all drenched in oil and he's gonna light it with a match. Like
that's so specific. Oh, I love that. Oh my god, he's gonna set everything on fire. He's that's the kind of guy he is. I'm very curious to see where he goes once he's done with the Jets because I wonder if anyone will take him on as a reclamation project because he does have other I've seen him make some unbelievable throws. It's just that he often makes them to the other team, and that's a problem. But remember, this Jets team almost beat the Chiefs. That defense is pretty dang good. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm taking the Raiders just like you are. And, we'll just kind of go from there. But we don't need to dwell on this game any longer just because it's a shit show and it's on national TV. You're all going to see it.
Yes,
Let's talk
sir.
about the much more exciting Monday night game, which is the Broncos at the Bills.
You think this is exciting?
No, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Because this is like you talk about a trap game. If there's a trap game, this is it. Because
for the Bills,
because they should win this, but they did almost lose like 2 or 3 games this season.
They almost lost to the Giants.
Yeah, and there was like the Giants one week, it was the Jets the other week, and like another team.
They lost to the Jets week 1. Yeah.
Oh, they lost to the
Bills
Jets.
are weird this year. They're not that good.
They're just inconsistent. Let me tell you why. And I only focus on this because I do have their running back, but it does make me notice things. And that's that Bills have not run the football this year. And I don't care if it's James Cook or Murray. The point is you have 2 pretty damn good backs.
Oh no, Josh Allen is their running back. And this is what I've been saying for years. They expect too much out of Josh Allen. They are asking him to do too many things. And you could ask Noah Gross this because I was at his house on divisional weekend last year when I saw it was snowing in Buffalo, and I saw that the Bengals were coming into Buffalo to play the Bills. I was like, oh, Joe Burrow is going to win this game because he's meticulous and Josh Allen is not. Like he's always trying to play hero ball and trying to be like that guy. And I don't blame him for it because that's the expectations that are put on him for whatever reason by this team. They expect him to run the ball like crazy all the time, which eventually got Cam Newton into trouble. You're right. They don't run the ball nearly enough. And when they do, it's usually the quarterback.
And to be honest, they're successful in it. I'm looking right now. James Cook has 100 rushes for 506 yards, an average of 4.7. Yeah. It's not amazing. That's a first down drive. That's a good run.
Yeah.
That's
a good running back.
And you have so much talent in receivers and in tight ends and your quarterback. We all know what he can do. So why not get some momentum, run the ball, take some pressure off of him in the offense, and make. I think this is
doing a lot more play action.
I think this is a coaching error, and I don't know what's going on in the locker room or whatever. But I think if they're going to come out this game and throw the ball against Denver 100 times, believe it or not, I think Denver might actually pull an upset. Because Denver has shown they're not going to – Russell Wilson's not going to – he's not going to just hide away in a ball. This guy has too much self-respect.
Russell Wilson hasn't been bad this year. I don't know.
No, he's not. He hasn't.
The hate for Russell Wilson's crazy.
He
hasn't been good. But he's been taking care of the ball. He's got 16 touchdowns
they're getting better. They've looked a little bit better every single week. That's without Javonte Williams, their running back. Like they're looking a little bit better. So I'm looking at Denver. Yeah, I'm looking at Denver, and they still have a chance to make playoff. I mean, it's not going to be an easy road for them, but if they can win out, that's not
absolutely.
And that has to be. I hate when people say you can't think that way. That's the mentality, right? You go, I have to go into every game saying I'm going to win. If I can do what I have to do, everything else will kind of fall into place. And if I'm Denver, that's what I'm saying. And if I'm Russell Wilson, I have the confidence because he knows what he can do, and everyone knows what he can do, and he has the talent and receiver to do it. So
exactly, that's the thing. You play to win, right? Like it's all about. Yeah.
You can't sleep on Denver. They're not going to be the same Denver of last year where it's like, oh, here's a dub. No, they're gonna. Russell Wilson's not gonna go out like that. So I don't know. I think Bills will win. It's at home. I think they will win. But mark my words that if they come out and just throw the ball, they're gonna lose this game.
I agree with that. I don't buy the 7 cover. I do think Denver will make it like 6. I think it's at -7 right now in favor of the Bills. I think it'll be a little closer. I think it'll be like 30-24, and maybe that's a backdoor cover for the Broncos, but it's still like I don't know. I just don't think they're nearly as bad as people say they are. Also, look, what the Bills are doing, or what the Bills are not doing, is what the Broncos are doing. The Broncos are the last time they played against the Chiefs, they ran the ball with the running backs. They ran it 32 times. And Russell Wilson added 8 carries of his own. So that's 40 carries. You know how many times Russell threw it? 19 times, right? So they are running the ball. They're finally realizing, hey, this running the ball thing kind of works. And then when they beat the Packers, which was awesome a couple weeks ago, they threw it 29 times and they ran it, 23 times, right? So that's balance, right? They're balancing it out. I think that Sean Payton is getting the hang of this thing in Denver, and they've won 2 games in a row. Obviously, very slow start to the season, but they lost 70-20. But it seems like they're figuring it out.
It's really close, but guess who has 101 and who has a 99 passer rating?
I'm guessing Russell Wilson has the. I'm guessing he has the 101. Really?
Yep, he has 16 touchdowns on 4 interceptions, while Josh Allen has 2 more touchdowns, but on 5 more turnovers.
Look, Russell Wilson started 15 games last year, and he threw 16 touchdowns total in those 15 games. He's at half that, and he already has 16 touchdowns this season.
Yep.
So
it's a different Russell Wilson. It's a different team.
It's the old Russ. It's the Russ.
Sorry. Well, yeah. It's the.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And yeah, I know that they're not the best passing team right now, but they're taking care of the ball, and they did just beat the Chiefs. So they'll have a lot of confidence going into this. I do think it's a better game than people will think. But we'll need it after tomorrow night's game between the Jets and the Raiders. But man, this schedule is very exciting. I'm excited for tomorrow. I think we're going to have some really good games. I'm hoping Red Zone's a lot of fun. And yeah, and
I'm excited.
It's always what you want, when you have a bye week, because I know your Eagles are on a bye week. You got the Chiefs next week, but you get to just watch, some really fun games. And the Bears, obviously, we have our mini bye right now because we just beat the Panthers. So I'm gonna sit home and I'm just gonna enjoy this Sunday. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that as an Eagle fan, we get some players coming back next week. That's all. We need Jalen Hurts to let that knee rest, because God, I'll tell you, I had a mini aneurysm last week. Goddard is probably out until the latter half of the season.
Fair.
But we'll see what happens, because I think we might be getting Cam Jurgens back, some Quez Watkins. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I think he might be out. I think he's out.
Very nice.
But Bradley Roby would be nice to get back. Dean would be nice to get healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And always supporting you, and you're an Eagles fan, so I got no dog in the fight. Jalen Hurts has always been good. I've always been a Jalen Hurts guy because he fits my narrative. I've always said Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, so I always want to see him do well because I like being right. So anyway, Oren, as always, been a pleasure hosting with you, man. You're always welcome on the show. And now, we could hold each other accountable for getting shit wrong. We could go back and check and see how we did on picks. And as always,
I will forget these, so you should write these down and send them to me.
I will. I'll remember.
Okay.
Or I'll write them down, but I'll try to remember. But yeah. But also remember to set your lineup in my league. And, if you're another fantasy guy, just make sure you set your lineup in any league. Because people who don't set their lineups are annoying, and I'm guilty of that sometimes. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, Oren, and thank you all for tuning in, and especially Crazy A's and Amp for tuning into the comments. Always, I accidentally pressed the button, but yeah, always nice to have you guys tuning in. And usually the show will be on Friday. Friday afternoon is the Easy Does It time slot. I just did Saturday today because yesterday was just very busy. But as always, please like and subscribe. Obviously, subscribe on YouTube, like the video, like all our videos, and go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Chicago Clubhouse Network. We do a lot of things. Oren, I don't know if you're subscribed to us, but you should. You should subscribe to us if you haven't yet.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, Chicago Clubhouse Network.
Okay.
Definitely subscribe to us if you haven't.
I don't think I have.
Well, yeah, you should do that. We'll gain a new subscriber. It's very important. And so, yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And I'm an idiot.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.